There's plenty of water, at least in some parts of the world. In Pakistan, far more than anyone wants. Just the opposite in Russia, suffering lately from hot weather, fire, and drought. Clean, safe drinking water is another matter. Even with modern advances, a great many people do not have nearly enough, or safe sanitation facilities. Catherine Bliss is the Deputy Director of the Global Health Policy Center at the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies.
Around 1 billion people do not have access to an improved drinking water source. That means, whether it's in their home or even just, something in their courtyard or down the street, but a place where they can get reliable and safe drinking water to use for themselves, for their cooking and for their family consumption.
Each year, 3.6 million die of waterborne diseases. UNICEF says 5,000 children die each day from diarrhea. Anders Berntel is the executive director of the Stockholm International Water Institute, the sponsor of World Water Week.
So by sheer numbers, this outweighs all the other catastrophes and wars that we have on our planet. And I think it's a tragedy that something that is so easy to fix still has this enormous effect.
Berntel says it is not just developing countries that grapple with water quality issues.
And one of the emerging challenges that we are facing is the diffuse spreading of chemicals, particularly from our households.
Stephen Solomon is the author of the book Water, the epic struggle for wealth, power, and civilization. He says the importance of water is an issue that often is hidden in plain view.
We don't recognize how much water that it takes to run the kind of society that we live in. I sometimes say that water is becoming water is overtaking oil as the scarcest critical resource. In a sense, it has always been the most important resource.
Climate change, increasingly crowded cities, industrialization, and agriculture all have an impact on water resources and quality. Again, Catherine Bliss of the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
There seems to be, on the one hand, greater needs per capita for water in areas where population has been growing, and perhaps in areas that are dependent on groundwater, where groundwater supplies are, we're seeing those diminished or contaminated. And yet, by the same token, increasing flood cycles, whether related to hurricanes, extreme weather events, and other kinds of challenges.
Meanwhile, as the floodwaters begin to recede in some areas of Pakistan, health officials say the threat from waterborne disease and a lack of clean, fresh water present new challenges. The UN says 3.6 million hectares of arable land and 1.2 million livestock are already lost. Some 1,600 people are dead, millions of others homeless. William Ide, VOA News.